You're listening to the Social Selling Simplified podcast. Stick around if you too are obsessed with learning things that actually work and believe that success leaves clues. We're all about identifying results-producing roadmaps and getting super clear on how to scale and grow your online business. From part-timer to president, social selling expert Ashley Shaw will help you connect the dots and take the guesswork out of what works to grow a social selling empire. It's time to hear from social selling legends, listen in on truthful conversations, and learn the best tips and tricks to reduce the marketing overwhelm so you can build the social selling business of your dreams. If you're ready to go all in, no holding back, and build the business you've always wanted, you're in the right place. Here's your host, educator, social selling guru, and fitness industry OG, Ashley Shaw.
Welcome to Social Selling Simplified. I'm your host, Ashley Shaw. And in today's episode, we're going to be diving into the 4 key components every business that actually makes money focuses on. An overview of today's episode would be the fact that there are actually 4 systems that you need to have in place if you are going to be a business versus just having an expensive hobby. And if you don't know what these things are, that, to be honest, doesn't surprise me because most entrepreneurs or network marketers, people that are trying to build a business, might not be learning from an upline that has the experience to guide you through these components. So that is what you're going to learn on today's episode. These 4 key components or 4 key systems that you actually need to have in place to build a business that makes money and then be able to scale it to 6 or 7 figures. An overview here is there are 4 systems. So the first is going to be an awareness system. The second is a nurturing system. The third is a sales system. And the fourth is an automation system. So just to give you guys a little bit of background, when I first started my business, it'll be 5 years here coming up in October, I was doing a lot of things, but not making any money. So I really thought that, building a business was just about having a consistent social media presence. And I hired my first contractor, and I think the total that I had ended up paying her before I realized, okay, this is definitely not getting my business anywhere, was about $3,000. And I had her focusing on my social media. And so that was a big wake-up call because I think that social media can really feel like it's this sexy thing. And, if I gain followers, that's the key to success. And if I get likes and engagement, and I see so many entrepreneurs burn out because they put all their effort into that bucket and nothing happens. You just end up spending a whole bunch of time, which you're not getting paid for, and you're paying to be maybe part of, a business system of some sort. And on top of it, maybe you hire another person to help you with this, and you're really not getting anything out of it at the end of the day. I really think that these systems that we set people up with, I do think they need to be challenged. I think that from the entrepreneur in me and what I've learned over the last 18 years, I have spent countless hours doing a lot of things. And at the end of the day, maybe 5% of those activities have actually led to making money. And I think that is kind of the biggest difference I see between those entrepreneurs or network marketers that actually become successful and actually pull a profit from their business versus the ones that do not and end up just constantly paying into something, whether it's time or money, and they never, ever see anything from it. So if you are in that position that your business is not making money, one, it's not your fault, but it is after you listen to this episode if you don't focus on these things, or if you continue to take advice from somebody that has not been able to build a business in today's current climate. I think that's the one thing that's tricky about taking advice from an upline that built a business, 9 or 10 years ago, if they're not updating that advice and they're still giving you those old tactics of just cold message people and, just keep sharing your story. That is not a system. That is that is like an onboarding booklet passed down from somewhere that is leading you on the road to nowhere. So stop following that advice and buckle in for these 4 systems you need to know about. Okay, so the first system is an awareness system. This really has to do with your process on social media. The purpose of social media is not to just post things on social media and hope it hits a wave and goes viral. Although 99% of people probably think that is the way to riches of some sort. That is not the way to riches. The purpose and process on social media, it needs to be that you are actually testing things on social media to see what your audience is responding to. Now, the reason that this system or this awareness system is so important is that if you're in a network marketing company and you are just relying on friends and family and that warm audience, that is going to dry up at some point. Usually it's very quickly. That's when people get burnt out and they start trying to find random people on the internet to talk to and act interested in. And that is not an awareness system. That is a burnout system to not being able to build a business or scale it or sustain it. So what you need instead is you need a system that is going to help you get in front of more people at a faster rate. This is also not a hashtag system. And when I hear about people just focusing on hashtags, it's really it's even more rare than looking for 4-leaf clovers. It's like going to the casino and gambling and hoping you're going to win, or telling yourself it's not gambling if you know you're going to win. It's one of my favorite lines from The Hangover. Yeah, it's not gambling if you know you're going to win. And that is what I feel like the people that just focus on hashtags, like that is their strategy is, no, it's going to pay off. It will. I promise it will. The reason that is not a good strategy is that, again, like you're always rolling the dice. You're always relying on luck. If you are just posting to post on social, you're throwing out some hashtags, hoping that it's going to go viral. And hopefully you're crossing your fingers, hoping that that's going to bring you enough business and have people reaching out to you. What you actually want to do on social is come up with a system that you are testing different hooks and different ideas to see what your audience is actually responding to, because an awareness system is getting in front of cold leads and warming them up, which in my opinion can really only be done in an effective way through using ads. Now, you're not going to start there, but you want to get to that point that you are utilizing ads and you have enough of a funnel built out that you can get there. Now, the reason being is that any successful business runs ads. And you get to this point in your business where you're like, the more that I can spend on ads, the better. If I give, Facebook or Instagram $1 and I get 2 back, I want to keep spending that money, right? So that's why this process of testing hooks, and really warming up your social media to figure out what people are interested in is so important. Now, there's a couple of different things I mean when I say like testing hooks and, testing different social media posts. Some people's audiences are more about pain and others are more attracted to pleasure. My audience is more about, there's humor in the pain of being a network marketer. So that is where I like to focus, and that's my own style type. Whereas other people might be more aspirational or inspirational, but people definitely seem to have a preference, and your audience might be split. Like some people might respond to the inspirational side of things. Other people might respond to more the humor or painful side of things, but it's up to you to be testing these things to figure that out. Now, when I say, testing hooks and different things, what I'm meaning is there's certain things that when you have the first line of your post, or maybe you have text over a reel or something like that, there's evidence in what people are responding to, and you want to do more of it. So on some of my reels, for example, people really respond to, getting 17 no's in a row. So that's something I know is a pain point for people, but also it's this humor point of like, Yeah, holy smokes. Like we all feel the same way about that. So your awareness system is really getting a process to start testing things on social because you eventually want to be able to move into an ad strategy that you can actually reach more cold people and warm them up. If you are just posting on social media, your posts are only seen by 1% to 2% of your audience. So that is a big drop when you have your post reaches it gets posted. And then of your audience, let's say you have, let's just say 100 friends for easy numbers, one person sees it. So then if you have 1,000 friends, what's that? 100 people see it. The odds are not good. Like they definitely are not in your favor. So using social for organic purposes is just a really long road to no guaranteed success. You want to be building your social media with the idea you're eventually going to use ads to get in front of other people. And it can be a $5 to $10 per day spend. It doesn't have to be a lot, but you need a system in place to actually make new people aware of you or you're going to burn out.
Hey coach, I finally have something that I've been dreaming of providing for you. I know that you definitely didn't start this business because you really felt like pestering your friends and family and getting ghosted by everyone. Chasing people down or having to follow up with them is definitely hard work, and it can feel so awkward and uncomfortable for everyone involved. But your upline probably told you that this is what successful people do, and they didn't mention to you that unless you're this superstar salesperson right off the bat, you're going to struggle forever if you keep doing it that old school way. 99% of coaches quit because they suddenly declare themselves this expert online and then go back and ask everyone who knew them to just start buying from them when they just started working out last week. And this problem applies to all network marketers, not just coaches. But the 1% that actually succeed have made it because they've caught on to a different system that's been proven to work. And it's just something that nobody really talks about. It's all about taking some simple steps to position yourself as an influencer first. So soon, instead of asking people to talk to you, you'll attract ideal customers who are already excited to learn from you and buy from you. They'll know exactly what you're about and how you can help them. Go to ashleyshaw.ca/FYourUpline to learn more and see exactly what I'm talking about. You don't have to hunt people down and make them talk to you in order to get your bills paid for the rest of your life. Check out my short book called F What Your Upline Said and get an entirely different approach that will feel much more organic and authentic. That's ashleyshaw.ca/FYourUpline. I'm so excited for you to start implementing these 4 simple changes in your business and see how it absolutely transforms how you feel about your business and the results that you're able to get.
Okay, number 2 is your nurturing system. So after someone becomes aware of you, you actually need to build likability, trust, and rapport so they actually want to move forward in your sales process with you, or they want to solve their problem. It's about them. It's not about you. This is where you need things like lead magnets, which help build your authority and credibility, and they help people understand, what your value is. So a lead magnet is a free download of some sort, and it helps people get to know, like, and trust you. It's a really good point to push people to when you make contact with them on social, and it will help you get their email address. So that is really important in your nurturing system. Then if we move to some other ways you can nurture people, you might do this through your IG stories, where you take people, behind the scenes and show them more about what you do. If they become aware of you, they need to move through the process of you nurturing them before they'll ever buy from you. The same could be with little mini challenges, like 7-day challenges. This is something new that we are actually implementing in our membership, is having like 7 to 12 day challenges that are pushing people towards the next step. Some people do have free Facebook groups and stuff like that. That's something actually we are moving away from and moving more towards a very strategic 7 to 12 day approach, because if you just have a free and open group and you're just posting random things in there all the time, it's not a good use of your effort if there's no next step of what they need to do or there's no deadline. And one of the books I'm reading right now, it's called Clockwork. It's all about getting your time down so that you're not just doing things to do things. And as I said at the beginning of this episode, about 5% of the activities that we do are typically actually driving revenue. So if you're just running a group to run a group, it's not driving revenue. But if you're running a challenge and you're getting people into that challenge with a specific purpose, that is going to help drive revenue. So that is definitely something that we are teaching our students and definitely providing content for, because we believe really strongly that that is an important part of a nurturing system that can actually drive more people to buy from you. The third system is a sales system. So after you nurture someone, you can't just leave them and hope that they're going to click a link and buy something from you. You actually need to move them through a sequence. So this is where email comes into play. You want to have a system that takes those people that have been nurtured, it continues to nurture them. There's goodwill in there, which means you're not just trying to sell them a bunch of things, but you're providing value. Maybe there's some videos. Maybe you have a podcast. Maybe you have a blog that you're keeping up. Or maybe you're sending them back to social media on, hey, have you seen this reel where I teach these things? Like, it really can be very simple, but that system is your sales system to move people forward in your process. So they're not just sitting there after being nurtured and they don't know the next step that they actually need to take. So you do need an email strategy to move people forward in your sales system. The fourth system is an automation system. So this is answering the question, how are you turning what's working into something repeatable? I think this is the scariest thing about starting a network marketing business, is that if you are doing something over and over and over again, and it can't repeat without you doing it, it's not a sound business, and it's not a scalable one either. So if you need to get on your phone every day and you need to cold message people, what happens if you get sick? Or what happens, if you don't send out enough messages? Your business is never going to grow. That is problematic for me. I would not want to fully invest my time in just doing that if my business was not scalable and couldn't grow. So what you want to be doing is you want to be making sure that you're building something that is repeatable. So this can work alongside your network marketing business, where you do have what's called a funnel. And all a funnel means is that when somebody goes from one step, they're directed to the next. That's like the easiest way to think about a funnel. It doesn't have to be crazy techie or anything like that. And it just should take people from, okay, I've got I want to download your lead magnet. Now I get added to your email list. I'm going to start getting your emails. It's like always having that next step figured out and pushing them to what the next step is. So when you start to automate things, what ends up happening is a lot of your sales and business can start moving to becoming more automatic, where you're making sales without even thinking about it, which ultimately is super, super important in scaling and actually growing a business. You don't grow by just messaging more people. If you look at any of the successful people in network marketing and you go to their website, one, they usually have a website of some sort. And two, they have a system they're running people through. If you look at like literally any of the network marketers out there, Ashley Molstad, Melanie Mitro, those are both Beachbody coaches, but literally anyone out there, you get to their website and they are directing you to a lead magnet of some sort. It might be a free challenge. It might be a downloadable, something like that. Now you're on their email list. These are the things that are happening usually behind the scenes that people don't really know about, but they are definitely the 4 key components you need to have if your business is actually going to make money. So once you get these things in place, you actually have the foundation set to build a scalable business and something that can grow and flourish. And, it's not this equation of I need to invest more time to grow the business. It starts to become, I get this set up once and then it's running and I just have to tweak it. And that's ultimately where you want to go if you're going to build a 6 to 7 figure business. So if you loved this topic and everything that we've talked about today, you're definitely going to want to make sure that you jump on the upcoming workshop called Your Upline is Full of Shit. Gold messaging won't build a six-figure business. Do this too. And I'm going to teach you the systems that I have just talked about in helping to move people forward in the process. So I'm going to take you behind the scenes and we're going to break this out even further so that you have a really, really great picture of what you need to do to build a scalable business. And it all falls into having a six-figure growth formula at the heart of everything that you're doing, instead of like all these separate actions that are not leading you anywhere. So I hope that episode was super helpful today, guys. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next time on Social Selling Simplified.
Thanks for taking the time to level up today. If you're ready to commit to personal and professional growth, move forward, make money, and grow your health and fitness business, head to my free community on Facebook, Business Bootcamp for Fitness Coaches, so I can support you every step along the way. Thank you so much for tuning in today, and we'll see you right back here next week on Social Selling Simplified.